This should be a quick video just on creating a Google Doc for your literature review and making sure that the share settings are in edit and appropriate to the assignment that we need in eSpire. So I just want to walk you through this really quickly. In your folder, you will want to make sure to go back to your folder, and you'll find that in your drive. And open a new doc. And if you're in your folder, a lot of this you don't have to do, but I do want to show you these share settings because if you're not creating from an already shared folder and forget to do this, it becomes a problem as well. So up here in the left-hand corner, you're going to title the document. This is going to be Week 1 Lit Review. And I also love when these come into my mailbox to see your name so that I can identify quickly whose is in and whose is not. So using APA or MLA formatting, you'll type me a double-spaced literature review and reflection of the materials and resources of the week. And what you'll do once that is finished is hit the share button, and you go to the shareable link. You're going to want to change this. Mine says Baldwin USD 348. If you're part of another school district, it's going to have that name. So you drop this menu down, you hit more, and you want anyone with a link to be able to access this paper. And then for our purposes in this course, you actually want me to be able to edit. There's a lot more I can do if I can just go ahead and insert or add things into your documents rather than make suggestions, or it's just much easier. So hit save. Okay. And now you just grab this link. So once you click on it, it highlights. You can do your Command C, which is your copy, and hit done. And then you end up going back to eSpire. And in your eSpire page, if I can get this into the student mode, it's a lot easier. So let me see if I can get student view. So in the literature review, because this is eSpire and eSpire does not play nicely with Google, it won't let you upload a URL directly as a file, and I don't want PDFs. I don't want you using Word documents because those are not editable. Those aren't immediately, I can't give you immediate feedback and you can't respond. So with Google, and having that editable access, when I receive your document, I'm going to give you feedback and I'm going to give you suggestions, and hopefully at some point those suggestions are incorporated in your unit redesign or whatever you're working on. So for your literature review and reflection on Sunday, July 9th, once your paper is completed in Google Docs, you will add a comment and you will Command V, which copies and pastes that document URL. If you hit return, it makes it a live link, and then you just hit save. And so each week that I ask you to add to your unit redesign, even though you've shared that unit with me previously, when there is an assignment in Google or in eSpire, I need that link reloaded. It just makes things very quick for me as I go in and take a look at your work instead of hunting through all the folders. And if you're using multiple files, if you have a document and then you've also started creating Google Slides, then that URL can be posted. If you happen to decide, hey, I'm going to create my instructional unit in something completely unique, like a Prezi or maybe you want to do something in Flipgrid or HyperDocs, or as we learn, you find something you want to use, then that URL goes in here as well. So I think that covers most of what I wanted to share with you. As you think about in week 2 and week 3 and further into our 8-week course, the unit redesign that I'm asking you for, I did mention using the backwards design model or the understanding by design model. There is another really neat model that you could use as well, but it's an individual daily lesson plan, and you would need quite a few of those, but it would be acceptable to exchange. It's called a HyperDoc template, and it's really doing the same thing that I'm asking you to do on a daily basis within your unit. So you can just search HyperDoc lesson template, and this is basically what it looks like. And this would also work very well for our purposes. One other thing I wanted to show you is some examples of what students have created for this course in different subject areas. They've used Google Docs and Google Slides to house their instructional unit. They created a Google Doc in which they inserted their backwards design, universal understanding by design lesson or series of lessons in their unit. And they made alterations to that as we added on cues and questions and advanced organizers, as we added non-linguistic representations and places for essential questions. They added those things into the doc in a narrative, and also linking the material they were creating outside of that document. And so there will be a continuous document that you create through the 8 weeks. And then as you create the actual learning tools, they might look something like this in the end. So I'll just show you one from last semester. Again, all of these things, step by step, week by week, will become more clear. A unit overview, standards, career ready standards, ISTE standards, objectives, assessments, and then lesson 1. The essential question has been established. The instruction, this would be explicit instruction by the teacher, and then also whatever links they're going to use for cues and advanced organizers. And then the student learning is specified as well. An exit ticket actually becomes the assessment for the day. It's just a quick formative way of checking for understanding. And he's created this all the way through, and you can see that each tool that he's created outside of here is, this is an advanced organizer, a Venn diagram. And so those are created and linked back into this unit. And if he were to teach this lesson, it's he can go day by day. This is not a very visually engaging unit as far as sharing with students and parents and administrators. It's pretty utilitarian, and I tend to do a pretty visually engaging unit so that I can just go ahead and share and work from that with everyone. Let's see if I can find another one that's... This one was a little bit more visually engaging, and you can see that she is clearly going to share this with her students and her parents and her administrators. It gets more visually engaging, I believe. It has videos that she uses, diagrams that she's asking kids to use, and becomes a pretty engaging unit as the kids walk through all of these things. This is a lot of work. In fact, I think this particular student has been on here and adjusted the assignment since we did it last. So we'll build to this level of knowledge by the time we get finished with about week 6. And in week 7, you will complete a field experience. All University of St. Mary's courses are expected to complete a field experience, and it's something that you submit to TaskStream in a reflection. And being a summer course, it's really hard to do field experiences where you actually go out into the field, but field experience for our course means it's hands-on, that we're getting an experience in the field of collaborative educational technology. So what we'll do is share our lessons and our units with each other and have a collaborative peer editing process as we fix them and get them ready for turning in as a final project. So I'll walk you through that as we get to the end. So these are just a few examples, and I have a lot more that are embedded in your course. And you are welcome to email me with any questions, but don't become overwhelmed with the final project until we get a little bit further into the course.